Jack Hanley, Executive Director for the Network of Employers for Traffic Safety, also known as NETS, surveys its members to identify the safety practices of businesses best in class, reducing crashes and saving lives.
We provide two fundamental services. One is an annual benchmarking program that we provide to companies who pay us an annual membership fee. They give us miles, number of vehicles, type of vehicle, injuries and crashes, and we use that information to create the crash per million mile statistic so they can compare themselves against all the others who participate in this annual survey. We also ask them about an awful lot of programs they may have in place to try and mitigate or reduce their crash per million mile statistic. So we wonder about their cell phone policies, or do they have a post-crash review program? What kind of training do they do, et cetera, et cetera. And at the end of each of these surveys, we pull it all together and identify those 3 or 4 things that the best-in-class companies have in common, and those then, by definition, become best practices. It depends on the year, but recently what we're seeing is that companies, for instance, who have a complete ban on electronic device use tend to do better than others. And so we're not talking about companies saying it's okay to use a hands-free device. We're talking about companies who ban them altogether. Another one is companies who measure at least every quarter their mileage and their crashes. So if you're paying attention to the metrics, there seems to be an implication that you're paying attention to those things that will help improve your safety record. I think those are two of the very fundamental ones. Clearly there's one that we can't get away from, and that is from time to time there is an important need to provide behind-the-wheel training for company drivers. Let me be clear about something. We're talking about company drivers. We're not talking about employees who commute to work every day, and I'm not talking about employees who are legislated by the Department of Transportation. These are fellows and gals who drive 18-wheelers, for instance, anything over 10,000 pounds. I'm talking about the sales rep who has a company car calling on behalf of his or her company.